like fun time cocaine.
It's just messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a and then, like with fentanyl, like that's the fake mud, comparison. Like fentanyl's only for the brokest of the broke.
No,
brokest of the broke.
Yeah, but
and that's like they're doing like fentanyl, like even though it's like more, it will get you more fucked up. Like the day after it's not gonna be fun. If you get to the day after.
So it's a horrible hangover right here.
Yeah. If you get a hangover, if you're lucky enough to wake up.
No, that's actually a serious topic though, because a lot of people need to be informed about the risk that they're taking when someone maybe lower middle class is trying to dabble in the mud scene and they come in way too strong. Without the right knowledge and taking the proper precautions, and they just fucking they're out, dude. Like they're dead.
Yeah, because and what the mud make you do? You say, like, I just injected 10 mils of fake mud. Like 10 mils, that's not a beginner dose, not a beginner dose. and given that the dealer forgot to cut it. Like he forgot to dilute.
If the dealer messes up in cutting it, that is horrendous. That will end his whole brand, dude. I mean, he will essentially lose all his customers because they died.
Yeah, like they got a dose that's like 10 times as strong. Like you just kind of like microdose because you're used to the mud, so you got 10 mils just to like get a little bit of taste, like a little bit of feeling for the competition. But the dealers,
and you should microdose on high or low concentration mud that's been cut with just a lot of urine, because if you don't, you still might be taking a risk and getting more than you asked for. Now, I did want to bring up the topic of manure and what role does that play in being a substitute for dirt, essentially, when making fake mud. How would manure, which I understand, it's just not fully dirt though. So explain where that came from.
Well, yeah, manure is just it's when you're farming, right? So before people knew really about farming, it's they just use dirt, no fertilizer or anything. So like sure, the things would grow and everything, but when you add fertilizer and have those like extra nitrates from dead plants and animals and soil and whatever, it's gonna make the plants grow a lot faster and everything. So it's mainly the nitrate and the nitrates and the phosphorus and potassium concentrate in dirt versus manure that's going to affect your high. So manure is going to have a much higher concentrate. That's why people use it for farming to get a higher yield. But in dirt, in dirt you're going to have that natural, you just know earth-born God-given nitrates and phosphorus and potassium. It's going to give you that natural high. That's not going to be like detrimental to your health or anything. It's not going to be like a man-made, like even though it's from natural ingredients like a manure, like it's going to have added nitrogen and whatever in the making of it. Like if you can get some natural manure on your hands, like sure, it'll be fine, but the shit you buy in a plastic bag at the grocery store, that's not going to it's not going to be the same.
Not at all. No, it's
not at all.
That does tie together a lot of loose ends that I had. But then you're mixing this, with a higher concentration, whatever. So instead of mixing it with water, you mix it with Sprite. I mean, why Sprite of all things? I mean, Sprite.
Yeah, well, the kids nowadays, they're drinking their lean and they're whatever, and they're always mixing it with Sprite. So to kind of like you gotta realize that there's a market there that want that carbonated feeling that's not natural, but it's gonna be a lot more it's gonna make it go down a lot easier, with the Sprite flavor and the carbonation. It's gonna help because like then that manure is not gonna taste good. It's not gonna taste as good as dirt because dirt. That's what I drink for like my daily beverage. But the fake mud, it's hard to get down, but it'll get you high. That's really.
I didn't even think about that. Like manure, like don't a lot of them have pesticides built into them? If I'm not mistaken, that would just taste awful and kind of poison you. So
Yeah.
I definitely see why.
And
right.
it's animal feces just from the get-go. So like dirt, that's gonna be used your natural.
Dirt is not poop at the end of the day. It might have
dirt is not poop.
very small traceable amount of poop in there, but it is not nearly the taste. Taste is just automatically, compared to like manure, which is
like when you go from manure, it's just because it's an easy substitute that's gonna have a similar texture and gonna have similar properties, but it's not gonna taste the same. It's gonna hit a lot harder, and it's gonna be a lot more dangerous.
okay.
And it's a shame they honestly sell it in the stores still.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely just like so it's like selling cough syrup that has codeine and other addictive chemicals.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm
That's just dangerous.
so you cut the manure and Sprite combination with pee. Now you just went over that in great detail. And would you do that with water and dirt when you're making real mud?
Oh, definitely not, because pee, that's gonna have that same like nitrogen, and the same nitrogen that's in the manure, and it's gonna be able to enhance the high of the. It's gonna dilute the phosphorus and potassium. That's the real killer in the manure. But the nitrogen, the more it's gonna be more like the benign substance and the whole process. And just when you have such unnatural ingredients already, such as Sprite and manure, you're just gonna have to cut it with something a little more natural, and. Water it's not gonna mix as well with the manure, to be honest. Like it's just from my experiments, like pee is just the utmost, like the best to mix with, because like it's a way to separate you from the rest of the industry, because a lot of the industry is just like cutting it with like more Sprite or more water or something. But pee is just it's gonna balance out the flavor, in my opinion. But I would never cut real mud with pee, because it's gonna disrupt the balance of the natural flavors of the mud already. So like,
so you don't cut real mud with anything?
No, I wouldn't cut real mud with anything, because mud is already like, it doesn't have the same like high concentrate of phosphorus and potassium, so it's not going to be as dangerous as manure. So mud is like, if you make it right, it's safe to consume as it is.
There have been reports, though, of certain sketchy dealers that are trying to just maximize their profits far beyond anything we've ever known, that somehow they are able to get their hands on a true dirt and water, real, authentic mud. They're able to get this, and then they cut it. Now,
it's honestly an unreleased method right now, because like I have some mud suppliers, from around like the world, because a lot of my customers are international and they want mud that's local to them.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get your hands on. But I'm working with a few mud suppliers right now, and I know there's been some break-ins in the mud factories that's going to really affect the like people are getting their hands on mud they shouldn't have. And they're blending a little bit of it in with the fake mud just for the flavor, because a little bit of the real mud goes a long way flavor-wise for the fake mud. So it's gonna have the hit of the fake mud, like that hard-hitting fake mud, but it's gonna have a little bit of the taste of the real mud. So it's gonna get you like double hooked, which is really, really dangerous, I think.
No, that's definitely something to be on the lookout for.
Yeah. Because I will definitely get your mud lab tested before you try it, because like now, unless you're buying from me, I would get that shit lab tested.
Definitely buy from Ver. But if you're not, like I do here, you are obviously, you have your own lab. I mean, how do you obtain a lab that's made for developing and researching mud?
well, you know, after after coronavirus, like it's really ended by now, to be honest. So a lot of the medical, you know, labs that were making like research and that were making pills and like all sorts of stuff for this you know, epidemic, they've been kind of going out of business since, you know, coronavirus is not popping as it was just, you know, like a year ago. So some of them have been like forced to sell their equipment. So I've been buying most of them out to, you know, increase my you know, the different machinery in my lab and stuff. So I've been able to get my hands on some good medical equipment that way. That's not been, you know, misused for any fake mud or anything. Because there's never been fake mud in my equipment. That's what I'm saying.
There's been rumors that you have a team of staff that help you with this, or do you work solo?
Honestly, I'm not in a position to disclose that, just based on, you know, personal safety.
Okay, no, that completely makes sense. That is confidential information that we're getting into right now, confidential territory that I don't mean to breach into. So, okay, so you're walking on the street and someone with just designer clothes, designer brand, and, you know, Louis Vuitton, you know, wallet or whatever, asks you, "Yo, I'm trying to score some mud." What do you say to them?
Well, honestly, because like when I was their age, I was on the streets trying to score, you know, the fake mud, the fake stuff, because it was a cheaper alternative. You have a hard time like actually making the mud yourself, because I was living in a really dry area where the dirt wasn't, you know, able to be made into mud at all. I really understand like people like that coming up to me and asking for like to score the real stuff, and you know, it varies from case to case, because like if I could, like, you know, those designer clothes are really made for middle class people. So like when I look at them, I try to look, it's like, is this a rich person or is this like just a middle class like trying to look rich? Because like I know the feeling of. All
right, now we fixed the technical issues that we had. So so you were saying about a rich person asks you to score some mud. Oh
yeah, okay, well, the thing is, like, I'm gonna try to look at them and tell if they're, you know, really rich or if they're, you know, lower middle class or whatever, trying to appear rich, because like, and that's gonna you know, help me make my decision if I'm gonna let them score some mud, because
okay,
you know, I'm kind of shy with putting myself on the internet, and so I haven't really put my face out there, and so.
Well, you're doing something that, yeah, obviously.
Oftentimes I'll just downright like just say that I'm not the person they're looking for, or I'm just not that guy, you know. And it's like, say they have me mixed up with someone else or whatever. But if I can tell that they have pure intentions, like, sure, I'll actually give out some, you know, real mud, and maybe even give a voucher for my website, and, you know. So
you have a business card?
Yeah, I definitely do. It's bone color, and it's a gold Arial font.
Oh, okay. Good. I hear that's the
race lettering,
higher quality pictures that you can have on a business card. So,
and you know that actually the color, you know, it's gold, but it's actually it's sort of a new gradient of gold I created called Muddy Shower, which is, you know, it's kind of a rare one.
That is actually beautiful.
When it hits the light, you know, it's just magical.
No, that sounds magical. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I'll definitely mail you one.
Hook me up with some, and I'll spread the word myself, because
yeah, definitely.
You've been in the well, you know, obviously mud is something that people grow up with when it's authentic, but you've been in the profiting part of the mud industry. You've been trying to profit for, you said, since quarantine, since 2020.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't really say it's, you know, profiting. I would say I'm more, you know, an ideal organization.
Okay,
Because
so
I'm trying to give back to the community too.
no,
Because like where
that
I'm,
is true. That is very true. You're not.
the money I'm earning, I'm putting back in investments. I'm putting back in the you know the neighborhood and so on and so forth.
No, you're making a better society with the profits that you might.
That's
make
what I'm trying to do.
And I respect that greatly because I hear you're out of all the mud distributors that exist and all your competitors, you put the most love in your product.
That's what like I wouldn't put myself on a pedestal like that, but you know that's what my customers have been saying. So
no, I saw the reviews myself.
Yeah, that's the review. You know, I've gotten some good reviews, and I'm really happy, and I'm just trying to stay humble. You know, make my product, and like all my competitors, they're doing their thing with their sand and water mixtures, and you know, it's
despicable.
It's not. It's whatever they're trying to do. Like I hear, a lot of people have passed away due to fake mud and. Yeah,
that's natural selection, though. I mean,
yeah,
definitely.
honestly.
I feel like the majority of consumers of a water and sand mixture of mud would be rich, higher, wealthy people. I mean,
yeah,
no one else would.
There's a rumor going around. Actually, the nightclub where the intricate, like the little, what do we call it? A little fight between King Von and Quando Rondo happened in Chicago.
Geez.
Yeah,
right.
that it's rumored to be. It's rumored that King Von was on some fake mud during that occasion. So it's.
Do you think it is possible? I don't want to get into the conspiracy territory here, but King Von, he didn't get shot. He overdosed on fake mud, and then getting shot was a media cover-up.
There's a great possibility that when he was shot in the head, he was already dead. That's all I've heard from my sources and everything, but I can't confirm or deny any.
Well, of course
anything.
You can. These are serious.
It's hard.
These are serious theories.
I can't.
Here. But I
and
think it would make sense. For your competitor, whoever produced the fake mud that King Von was on, they would want to silence this.
Yeah,
right?
And it's also, I think that's why Lil Durk hasn't slid for Von yet, because he's like this is more like a public thing, but he's actually a big consumer of my mud. Like my brand mud, so
does that promote nonviolence within Lil?
Yeah, definitely nonviolence, and there's he doesn't really want to associate with the fake mud like that. So like he was trying to stop King Von from doing that because King Von was kind of hooked. So
Lil Durk was not rocking with King Von at the time of his death. Is that what you're saying?
There's a rumor that that's what was going down. This is really insider information right here.
Yeah. I again, very grateful that you were able to take some time to come here today and speak about this, because mud misinformation, number one issue within the mud community.
Number one threat to the youth nowadays, I would say.
Absolutely, as we've discussed, it's fatal overdoses left and right. Big businesses profiting off of this, and it's just I think it's my personal duty to get the word out and promote your brand. Would you like to be public on this, the internet with the name of your brand here, or would you rather keep that as?
I think the people who need my stuff know how to get it, and I think the people who want my stuff now will find a way.
That is absolutely true. Hook me up. If anyone's really desperate, hit me up, and I'll see what I can do about the information that I can give you on that. Just hit my line, because I've been a personal consumer of Ver's mud for, let me think,
Probably about a year.
It was since the start of your business, wasn't it? Like
Yeah, probably about a year and a half or something like that.
ever since you got the lab, for sure.
Yeah, ever since that.
That's,
Yeah, because I was messing around a little bit before that, but you know,
No.
when I got the lab, it got serious. You know.
We definitely had some crazy trips when you were in your experimental phase.
Yeah, definitely.
There were definitely times I was seeing things that I didn't think existed, and that's I definitely made a few hospital visits, but it was all worth it because you perfected it now, and it's just. Would you say that your recipe is finalized, like it's perfected?
I would say that it's hard to say that there won't be any changes in the future. Like I've been experimenting with manure in small dosages and microdosing and stuff like that, but it's gonna be a while until anything of the like hits the market, if it ever does. And
Okay.
because I'm not trying to make fake mud. I'm just trying to make like something new that's not even mud.
Yeah. So I mean, if I'm not mistaken, your original goal though was to make the best quality mud product that currently did not exist in the industry. Now you're saying that you're indeed experimenting on moving on from mud, and you're going into new territories.
I wouldn't say it's like the original idea was to make a pure mud that all my mud companions would relate to and would be able to get affordably to their homes, like delivered directly to the door, or if they don't have a home, we can deliver to any grocery store or the like, or you just if you really have it tough, hit me up and we'll sort it out. But I'm trying to branch out from the mud and the fake mud industry, not by completely revamping my stock or anything, but just like kind of experimenting with new stuff. Like maybe there may be a summer special that's a small dose of manure and something else, and I can't really get more into detail with that product, but it's not going to be labeled as, it's not going to be marketed as mud. It's going to be something, a whole new thing.
That is incredible to hear. I'm very, very excited about what the future holds for your laboratory. Now I'm reading an article right now that I have it pulled up. The Tech Lab is which we both know is a recently been popping up in the fake mud industry. They are known for incorporating I believe, like, what do you call those, wood chip like shavings?
Oh.
I believe they
wood shavings. Yeah, it's a horrible thing to hear. Like people will go to sawmills and they will collect, like at night, the wood chips, and honestly, it's hard to say anything right now because I haven't gotten a sample yet. I'm still waiting on it. I have some of my people looking into that for me, but from what I've been reading, it's been getting caught in people's throats, and like it's been really it's been a really dangerous thing. And,
right. They don't have a good filtering system perfected yet for that.
Yeah,
it's very scary.
It's very scary, Like my mud is like most, like I don't want to get into the industry secrets here, but we have a really advanced vacuum filtration system that's going to ensure that no wood shavings or any clippings of anything else is going to get into your final product.
Oh, I can definitely vouch for that. I've never once seen any flaws in your product from my experience.
Yeah.
But they do say that.
And of course we have the chunky and the smooth selection of muds on my page, and
that is true.
I can assure you that the chunky part isn't, because it hasn't been filtrated or anything. It's just a design feature we do after the filtration, so it's you don't have to worry about that not being filtrated or anything.
That I really respect the level of love again that you show for your products.
Yeah.
I surely will never find this anywhere else.
I'm trying to be transparent with my customers,
Yeah, no, and that's why you have such a good reputation. Is because you are, and you have a whole customer service page, right? If
definitely, yeah, I do. I have a small team working on that.
If there are any complaints or whatever, I hear that you do give out whatever they need, refunds or new samples.
Yeah, I haven't had a complaint yet though, so we'll see.
Oh my goodness, that's I love to hear that. Now the thing about Tech Lab, going back to that, is that I do hear that their product, as untested and new as it seems, they bring customers back really fast because it's the wood, the whatever's in the wood chips, highly addictive. I hear, and I think how chewing nicotine gum is supposed to be addictive for the glass that's in it, whatever that fucking hurts your mouth or whatever, your gums, it rips them up or whatever. Apparently, that's supposed to be a property that makes customers want more of it after some time. And the wood chips, it seems like it's actually wildly successful in bringing those customers back, saying because they're not going to get that texture in any other supplier other than Tech Labs. So can you talk about that?
Honestly, like when you're experimenting with like ingredients like that, and you've not had them tested like properly to ensure they're safe for your customers, like I can't really get behind that. And if it comes out that wood chippings is completely fine in mud, it's gonna be I'm gonna have to catch up in that and see what I can do. But like what it's looking like right now, I'm trying to stay behind and watch from behind the bush on this one, trying to see where this leads, because I don't want to get in a position where my customers are hurt by our lack of knowledge regarding this subject. And really, I think that the wood shaving thing is kind of a fad, because it's just something that's different right now, and
we don't know what the future could hold for it in terms of long-term health effects. We
really don't, and I'm sort of sticking safe here and sticking to my product that I know works and is good. And if I wanted to, I could have, like tomorrow, I could have a product that's 100 times more potent than anything else that's on the market. A pure manure, reduced, like glazed manure that would like absolutely blow your socks off. But I know people would it would be an overdose pandemic with that one. So like I would never put out the product that's dangerous to the youth.
Never put the customers at risk.
Never.
I definitely respect that. Now, are you able to put out any information on any recent brand new ingredients that are unheard of? Because the customers are always interested in hearing what's the newest, latest ingredients that you've been experimenting with, just like Tech Labs has with wood chips.
Well, honestly, like Tech Labs with their wood chips, it's been a hit, and my labs we're experimenting right now with, or we're more in the process of testing the safety of an ingredient that's it's going to be a South American. I kind of want to keep this on the down low before not trying to give my my competition the upper hand. So, but it's going to be a South American rainforest ingredient that's going to be I think it's going to be a game changer for sure.
I'm super excited.
I can tell you that we're gonna get a bit more a bit fruity, a bit sweet, and an unusual tasting mud that's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks if everything goes as planned.
That might have the FDA up your ass, but I am very excited on hearing
definitely
about that.
Definitely, I got the FDA knocking on my door about every single day now.
Oh, I really do appreciate what you do, even to persist in your company, despite all the government intervention that they've been trying to do. It's downright a crime at this point, I believe, to distribute mud. But I believe that one day, just there will be legalization. We will see an actual movement and a betterment of society through the legalization of recreational mud. Yeah,
I think recreational mud is I mean, I think I'm the only one doing the mud that's going to be FDA approved one day, and there's a lot of people trying to make a quick buck on a dangerous method right now, and
they're trying to make a quick ban today. Yeah. But
there's a rapper called I won't say his name, but he's been dropping a few methods that's really dangerous to
dropping a method in a rap song is a completely unheard of strategy of conveying top secret information that I am truly fascinated by, because just
me too.
Who is? I mean, are they afraid? Aren't they afraid that this could be used in court against them, or are they gonna pass it off as just humor? It wasn't anything serious. I'd love to see where that rapper goes in his.
Yeah, I think the rabbit hole goes deep with that. The method droppings, and we're just gonna have to see where it leads in the future, and hopefully it's not anything too dangerous, because like what I've been listening to right now, it's if anyone actually makes those recipes, it's gonna be dangerous. That's what I'm.
Yeah, no,
what I'm trying to say.
I definitely heard something about he's giving out good advice, like warnings on something like something as rudimentary as not selling it in your own driveway. I mean, people need to hear this. People don't understand. You can't sell mud in your own driveway. It's that dangerous.
Yeah, it's a dangerous method.
Yes.
I mean, I understand the personal benefit for it, but the societal. The societal damage it could have, those methods, I can't really respect that, but
no.
To each your own.
To each your own. That's definitely true. Now, speaking of to each their own, you recently, back in, I believe it was last October, you went to Somalia. Now, what was that for? What was it like? Why did you go to Somalia?
Well, there was a rumor that Somalian excrement made some really good mud, and we basically went to check it out. So in Somalia, they have a lot of they don't have a lot of toilets or any sort of the infrastructure for that. So you're gonna be able to find that excrement on the ground, and if it's been on the ground for more than a couple of weeks, it's gonna actually have been absorbed by the dirt there, and the dirt in Somalia is very dry, so being absorbed by the excrement, it's gonna get it to about an American moisture level, but with a very specific granularity that's gonna be like a rare sort of artisan mud that we were selling back then, and it was a really big hit, but it was a hard process, and it was time consuming, so there's not really been that much incentive to start selling it again. But if the customers really want it, I might be able to fix up an autumn special for that.
I definitely would love some mud from Mogadishu. That would get me hooked for sure, because basically what you're saying to me is that at face value, Somalia, like some shitty third world country in Africa, is gonna, what about that is so good about their mud? But your team, whatever, has done the research into finding out there's basically a hidden gold mine in Somalia, right?
Yeah, it could be argued that there's a gold mine that's bigger than the blood diamond industry there in Africa as a whole, and it's in Somalia of all places, which is it is a beautiful country next to the ocean and everything, but it's sadly riddled with poverty and such. And honestly, with the mud, I'm trying to bring back some prosperity to Somalia, and of course I'm trying to give back some of that to Somalia, because it's in the end it's a Somalia product.
Well, I'm very excited to see what Somalia has to offer to the table, because that is
there's a lot of countries that we're in the works and right now that we're trying to see what they have to offer, and we're also up in Norway and trying some frozen mud actually, and
Really?
yeah, and it's there's been talk of serving by the scoop, and it's actually a reference to some leaks that got out about our Norwegian mud that I'm just now able to talk about because
Oh my goodness.
it's it's by the scoop, like an ice cream scoop. We use warm scoops to scoop that mud up, and
Holy shit.
it's hard to transport. That's the thing. It's really hard.
Well, of course, it's in Norway. I mean, who the hell lives near Norway? I mean, that's
it's to bring it in by freezer. It's not gonna be the same once it gets to America. It's gonna have
right.
It's gonna have been high up in the air, like almost rid of oxygen, and especially if you don't have like a controlled climate for storing that and transport, it's gonna be detrimental to the flavor. And it's been hard getting it out of Norway because like right now we have had some taste testers come to Norway just to try it, and from what I'm seeing, we might be able to get that product out by 2023.
Well, God forbid they put any preservatives in there, because that would just, personally for me, that would just kill it. So I do want to see what they can think of to basically extend the lifespan of this Norwegian mud, and
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine the flavor of that must be just absolutely pure, like just how cool, it's like minty almost.
Yeah, it's almost a palate cleanser, with the coolness, because it's a really good start to your day, I think. To have something cold to maybe contrast a cup of classic American Joe in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Have a small scoop of the mud sorbet. That's what the unofficial name right now. Work in progress, but it's going to be a good contrast, and it's
just so much to look forward to in the mud industry. So much.
It really is, and then
it's brand new. Right?
And then there's also so much to look out for, of course. You have to mention that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of fakes right now, and a lot of people pretending to be me and selling their mud under my name.
Great mud comes great responsibility. I hear that's
yeah, and it's going to be, it's a new industry, and it's going to get its laws and rules, because now it's kind of a gray zone legally.
Oh, definitely. But I still have my. I'm clinging on to hope there will be legalization efforts. In recreational mud, I haven't had a shot of mud in a while, so it's hard.
Yeah,
I
I understand. I think I could have a person over at yours in like 10 minutes with a small.
That would mean the world to me. I'm actually just about completely empty right now. I just snorted my last bit of mud, dirt powder. That's how you know I'm getting desperate.
I heard that. I know one of my when you gotta reach out to the competitor to get that stuff. I know it's desperate. I'm sorry I haven't been sending you the care packages. It's been a hassle with customs right now, so I'm trying to get
there's a whole
delivery
blockade
system
on, because they've been upping the security on the postal service, just checking for mud.
Yeah. And definitely cross state. That's been hard.
Absolutely, and that definitely has had an effect on me. Not for the best, but I think they should loosen up with their.
We're looking to get warehouses in every state in the continental U.S. So
that would be amazing.
It's going to be sorted. It's going to be sorted.
Just like a weed dispensary. I'd have a mud dispensary, in my state. I can easily drive to, pick up whatever I want. Show my ID.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. When we're trying to release the brown card, we're actually working with the state on that one, the brown mud card. That's going to be able to get you get you sorted at the mud dispensary.
I could see that ending up on the dark web, selling mud cards there, because people would be just fighting over them like fucking gorillas.
Yeah, it's a limited thing. It's we've got about 5 dispensaries right now in my state, and there's about 150 brown card holders here, because it's just working as sort of a test thing, and right now it's looking pretty positive towards legalization right here, and we're looking forward to trying to bring it out of state.
Well, listen, sign me up for the moment those brown cards get legalized. Let me be the first to have a brown card.
You'll have a special brown card. Maybe I'll get you in the muddy shower one in.
I would absolutely love that. We're experiencing technical difficulties here. I believe that the amount of mass mud production that Burr's been having is it's interfering with the electronic communications in his warehouse or something. Because he just cut out, but I think he's all better now.
Yeah, it's I usually have a bunch of internet attacks towards me. That's
DDoSing
with people trying to hack into my account and control my warehouses, but I have a team working on it, so
I believe that might have
fine.
Just very well happened right there.
It might very well have.
That is.
It's a hassle, but it's something you have to live with in this business.
I mean,
but,
when you guys,
I was just saying that when you get your brown card, you might just get a muddy shower card, which is a muddy shower colored card. The brown gold
the
color,
the gradient. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's gonna be a.
That's just.
It's gonna actually be a limited. It's gonna be a limited edition card that's gonna hold about a 25% discount on all products in our dispensaries, and we're looking to release it sort of like a Willy Wonka chocolate thing. So when you buy our product, you have a small chance of getting one. But that's for the future.
That's amazing. I love the financial, like the business side of your lab and your company. That's
there's always 2 sides to it.
No, like what Elon Musk is to the automobile industry is essentially what you are to the mud industry.
Yeah, that's what I like to think of it as well. There's 2 sides to it too. You have your outwards, personal interactions like this podcast that we're on right now, and also you have your me actually being in the lab and handling things myself, and actually trying to make a very good product, which I believe the thing that doesn't get showed to media and such. I think that's a lot of people are slacking on that front, especially in my competitor brands. They have a good media image, but they're slacking on their on their work, behind the scenes.
What does a media image matter when there's such little general knowledge within society about the mud industry in the first place? I mean, I would assume viewers of this podcast at this moment don't even know. They're like, what have these guys been talking about mud? What the hell is mud? They don't understand anything about it. Obviously, a good amount will also be, customers.
Well, I like to think of it, mud being the embodiment of being poor, which I utilize in the form of a drug to find, comfort in poverty. And it's a thing that only people from the mud will understand, and people that are, born into rich families, and while we were talking about the rich kid coming up to me and everything, and people born into those rich families, they're not gonna understand it on the same level.
Absolutely not. And I would want the message to get out to anyone who is not familiar with mud. Question your comfort with your financial situation. Question your running tap water. Question your heating and your air conditioning that you have. You know, you have everything, don't you? That's all I have to say about that. Inform yourself.
I think you wrapped it up pretty good there. You know, I sort of have to be getting back into the lab, and you know, it's been a real pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
It is. I appreciate you so much for coming out here and on the show today, and I look forward to the next speaking with you and doing business with you, because holy shit, I'm on edge right now. So I just need some.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ver of his top secret mud industry. Thank you everyone for tuning into this show today.
Thank you.
Bye for now.